Okay, perfect. Let's start off, guys. Okay, and on the other day what we saw was this, uh not here. Let me just open my Eclipse, guys. Okay, and let's open the class notes as well. Did we discuss all four kinds of method, guys, in all four quadrants, or is there anything which is pending? Okay, so we discussed. Okay, perfect, guys. Okay, yeah, you can see that. Thanks a lot. And was there any assignments which was given to you guys? No. Okay. Okay, guys, perfect. Just a minute, guys. All right, now so this is without argument. So all these four types are discussed. Now let me go to something called as objects, guys. Okay, objects in Java. Okay, and before I can tell you about the objects, I wanted to tell you something about packages in Java. Okay, packages in Java. What are packages in Java? Now let me go to this particular project, and this is my workspace and this is my project. Okay, batch 26 is my project name. Now if I go to this particular location, that is FEXE batch 26 workspace and project, what we see, guys, we see a bin folder and we do see a source folder. Okay, now inside source folder you have this particular Java file, okay, the source file. Okay, but in real life, okay, in real life application, okay, when you work for some companies, they will do like this. Okay, say they are developing some application, say there is say there is some app is, for example, in case of what do you call this, in case of Selenium. Okay, all these smoke test cases, different kinds of test cases will be there. Okay, smoke test cases might be there in a package called smoke, and all kinds of localization related test cases might be uh, in the package called localization. And if there is something called as regression, all the regression related test cases will be in the regression package. Okay, now what are those packages, guys? What do I mean by package? Okay, so this is called as default package. Package in the sense your entire code will be in the src folder. There are nothing. So a root of the src folder, you will gonna see all these whatever that you're gonna write. Okay, whatever Java code. But say I want to create a package. Okay, I'll do a right click on source file, new, and package. I will say com dot merc dot say regression. Okay, normally how they name these packages is very simple, guys. For example, you work for, say you work for you're working in Wipro, but your client name is this particular application you are developing for, a company called Merck. Okay, Merck. Then what they will do is they will always name these packages like com dot merc dot what is the use of that particular package. Say regression test cases, you will say regression. Okay, in the same way you might create one more package called com dot merc dot say smoke. Okay, something like this. Now what happens is, if I say com dot merc dot regression, right now if you see, there is nothing there in the src folder. There is only one this particular file, that is method rt without arguments. But if I click on finish here, I'm creating the packages. What will gonna happen is, inside this src folder you will see something called as com, and inside this com there is something called as merc, and inside this merc there is something called as regression, guys. Okay, so each of these dot, okay, say com dot and you say merc dot, each of these will create, when you say com and when you give a dot and after that if you write merc, it will create a folder inside com. Its name is merc. And when you give again dot, it will create a folder inside merc, and that folder name is regression. And that is exactly what you see here in the Windows Explorer. Okay, so what you're seeing, that is src com dot merc dot regression. In the same way, if I create something else, for example, I create one more thing, com dot merc dot smoke. What will happen? Inside src folder, it will create a folder called com, and inside com, it will create a folder called merc. But these two folders are already there. Okay, inside src, com is already there. Inside src com is already there. Inside that merc is also there, but inside merc only regression is there. So this time if you click finish, it will go ahead and also create something called as smoke. Okay, so packages, as of now, what you need to understand is packages are nothing but the folders, guys. Okay, there is nothing more than that to packages. Any doubt? Any doubt that you guys are facing? No? All right, fine, guys. So packages are nothing but folders, okay, as of now. And why they do use it? Just to make separation of concern, guys. Okay, say you are a Java developer and you are working on, you are working for Citibank. Okay, you are working for Citibank and you are creating a module named, say, reminder module. Okay, so wherein you can send alert, say alert module. Okay, alerts. Okay, wherein you can send some transaction alerts and all these things. Okay, so you will probably name package like this, com dot city dot alerts. Okay, something like this. Okay, so this, and even if you don't follow this naming convention, it's fine, guys. Okay, but that is not something appreciated in the market. So always you have to follow the naming convention. It's a good way of writing it. Okay, why it is good way of writing it, we will be understanding in something called as, when we talk about something called as Java doc. Okay, I have not taught you guys what is Java doc. I'll be teaching you guys what is Java doc in a while. Okay, not today, in some of the classes. Okay, So that's the reason it is always good to follow this naming convention. Okay, and in the same way, if at all you are naming a class, it should start with capital letter. Okay, say for example, say class name is example. Okay, so it should start with capital letter, and any variable should start with lowercase. Okay, say names, name. Okay, and you have something called as roll number, then always it should start with roll. And if at all it is made up of, this variable is made up of two words, it should be written in camel case. The first letter should always be lowercase, but the first letter of subsequent word should be in uppercase. Okay, or there is a variable called treatment start date. Probably you will write this treatment start date. Okay, so S capital, D capital. Okay, that's how you will name the, what do you call this, the variables. Okay, and whatever naming convention that you follow for the variable, same naming convention you can follow for methods as well, guys. Okay, fine. Now I have two packages, one is regression package and one is smoke package, and let me just remove this default package altogether, guys. Okay, just okay. So source folder is there, inside that regression package and smoke package. Okay, and what you guys need to know, packages are nothing but the folders. That's all about it. Okay, nothing more than that, guys. Now I will create a class. Okay, say class, and that's all about it. Okay, so let me just remove one of the package. Okay, so that you guys will not have any doubts. Okay, now I'll right click and I'll create a class called student class. Okay, student class. And did I teach you guys about what is a local variable and what is a global variable, guys? No? Okay, perfect. Now let's understand what is a global variable and what is a local variable. Okay, and till now I have not told you what is this public, and here also public static I have not told you. All you should understand at this point of time is void. Okay, main method return type is void because JVM is loading the main calling the main method and it is not expecting any return type. Okay, that is only thing what you need to know. Okay, void, when a method doesn't return anything, it should be marked as void. Now say you have something like int a. Okay, int a, and you have int b. Okay, now let me ask you this, guys. Okay, let me know if at all you guys know this or not. Okay, so let's see what if I uncomment this particular line number 8, will it give me any compilation error, guys? What do you think? Will it give us any compilation error? No. So what will be, if no compilation error, Rajni is saying there will not be any compilation error, what will be printed on the console, guys? Nothing. Okay, Suganya, do you have any answer for this? What will be printed on the console? Okay, first thing. Okay, first thing what you need to understand is any variable declared inside a method. Say this is my main method, and a and b are declared inside main method. Any variable that is declared inside a method, and also this args. Okay, you might get confused here, but as of now don't worry. Okay, this one forget it, we just consider these two, a and b. Okay, these two are inside main methods, correct? And these are declared inside the main method. When you have variables declared inside any method, not just main method, any method for that matter, these variables are called local variables, guys. So A and B are local variables, and local variables have to be initialized before using it. Local variables have to be initialized before using it. See, A, I have not initialized anything, I have just declared it. Now it is giving you this particular error. Local variable A may not have been initialized. Understood, guys? Any doubt? No doubt? Okay. So the local variable have to be initialized before using it. That's the rule number one. So it will give you a compilation error. But if you say A equals to 20, now the compilation error will go and you can just run this program as well. You can just run this program as well. It says 20. That's all about it, guys. Okay. There is a first rule. Local variables have to be initialized before using it. Now, what are global variables, guys? Okay, so what are global variables, guys? Global variables are those which are declared outside any method. This is the main method. If I declare a variable outside this method, main method starts at line number 6, ends at line number 11. If you declare any variable outside the method, okay, not just main method, any method, that is called a global variable, guys. Okay, say I will say int. Okay, I'll make it a static. Okay, static, and I have not told you what is static and what is not non-static. Int static int roll number. Okay, now this is a global variable. And one more thing, once you declare a global variables, you can access it anywhere in your program. Even inside this particular main method, you can access it. Say I want to print that global variable. All I need to do is sysout roll number. And see here, global variable I have not initialized. If you want to initialize, you can initialize, guys. Okay, say 50. But even if you don't initialize, that is fine. But any idea, guys, what will be the output of line number 11? What do you guys think? It doesn't give me any compilation error. Definitely it is not giving me any compilation error. But what will be the output of line number 11? Any guess? No? Okay. Now, the output of line number 11 is, Rajni is saying something. Rajni is saying prints nothing. Okay? No. The global variables, when you don't initialize, your compiler initializes it to something. In case of integer kind of variable, your compiler will initialize it to equal to 0. Who does it? Compiler does it, guys. Okay, and behind the scene, you don't see it here, but compiler does something like this behind the scene. Okay, so when you do not initialize a global variable, then that variable will be initialized then that variable will be initialized by compiler. Okay, for int default value is 0. For string default value is null. For boolean, the default value is false. Okay, so what I'm saying, when you don't initialize a global integer variable, it will be initialized behind the scene to 0. Okay, who does it? Your compiler does it. Let me go ahead and quickly check. Okay, what will be the output of line number 11? See, it is giving you 0. In the same way, if you have static int, static boolean flag, okay, and if you want to print the flag, what will be the value, guys? Any guess? I already written it here. Yes, false, correct. And string static string static string and say name. Okay, so just a minute, guys. Now if I print this, not false here, it is flag say name. Okay, say name. Now this is the output, guys. This is the output. Any doubt? Anything is bothering you? You can just let me know, guys. Okay, and when you declare it saying explicitly something, say you're declaring it explicitly to say equals to India, then it is fine, guys. Then there is no problem. Okay, then there is no problem. It will print India. Only when it doesn't, we don't initialize it, that's when it is giving you the error. Okay, just a minute. Okay, now yes is false. Okay, any doubt, guys, here? Any doubt? No? Okay, now let me just put this into your notes section, this particular class. Say, let me global local variables. Global local variables, and I will say class 5 guys. Okay, paste it. Now you know what is global variable and what is local variable. Now tell me guys, if I have a method named public static greet, okay, and it takes string name as an argument, okay, and you say here SYSOUT, you will say good morning plus name. Okay, this is what you're gonna say, and it is return type is void. Okay, now in greet method, this name is a local variable. Okay, this is what you need to understand. In greet method, name is a local variable guys. Okay, now when I say name is a local variable, name is a local variable, say let me say name one here, okay, because there is already a global variable called name. Okay, so let me say name one is a local variable. Okay, name one is a local variable. Now my question to you is, how will I print, say how will I do this SYSOUT on this line number 20? I want to print this guys, I want to print this integer a, integer a. How should I print it? Integer a equals to 20 is there, no? I want to print it at line number 20. So what should I type inside this? In here, what should I type it guys? That's the question for you, all of you. A, okay, Rajni is saying A. You have to write A. That is what Rajni is saying. Fine. So when any answer, so Rajni is saying this. This is her answer. Type A. No answer? Okay. Now, this is one more concept you need to understand, guys. Once you say local variable, A is a local variable which is inside main method. Okay. Local variables cannot be accessed outside the method. Say, when I am trying to access it here, what it is saying? It is saying A cannot be resolved to a variable, means it is not able to find what is this A. That is what it is saying. So local variables cannot be accessed outside their method. No. So Rajni is saying main method is kind of a main method for the whole program. Yes, the execution starts from the main method, but it is no way, no way it is like whatever you declare in the main method that is global. No. Only global variables are those which are outside the methods. Okay, it should not belong to any of the method. Okay, that's when it is a global variable, and global variables can be accessed anywhere. Okay, say flag, you can access it here, and flag you can access it here as well. Okay, say flag. This global variables can be accessed anywhere, but any variable that is inside, that is declared inside any method, may it be main method even, then it belongs only to that particular method. Okay, say if I say int a equals to 20, you can only access it inside the main method. You cannot access it outside the main method. Okay, you cannot access the local variable outside the methods where they are declared. Okay, this is one of the most important thing you guys needs to understand, guys. Okay, any doubt, any doubts, guys? No? Okay. And in the same way, now guys, tell me, this question is to both of you. If I say string my country equal to India, and if I say SYSOUT, okay, if I say my country, in the same way, if I say SYSOUT, my country, okay, so look at these things. Okay, so there is a variable called my country which I declared here. Okay, now I am trying to print my country on line number 23, and I'm also trying to print my country on line number 17. So among this 17 and 23, which line will give me the error? Or what do you say? Do you say that both lines will not give me any compilation error, or what do you say? Line number 17 will give me compilation error. That's what Rajni says. Any other answer? No? Okay, the same answer, right? Yes, that's right, guys. Because my country is a local variable to the greet method, and you cannot access it in main method. Okay, so that is the thing, guys. You cannot access it in main method. Okay, the same thing applies here. But what if I do like this, guys? Say, now if I uncomment line number 17, will it give me any compilation error? Line number 17 is I have changed it. Will it give me any compilation error now? Think, guys. I have put this my country in double quotes here. Will it give me any compilation error? This is the only change, Rajni. It won't give you any compilation error. And when you print that line number 17, what will be the output? Yeah, it just prints that particular my country. Okay, text my country, it will gonna print. Okay, so understood, guys, why it will print this one? Yeah, my country is what it will gonna print. Okay, but now if I remove this, what will gonna happen is your thing will check. Okay, is there any variable called my country in the main method? It will check. No, we have not declared anything called my country. So it will go ahead and then check, is there any global variable called my country? No, here also it is not there. It will give you the compilation error. Okay, so that is all you need to know. That is all about it, guys. Okay, so they say the scope of the global variables, sorry, scope of the local variable is inside the method where it is declared. Okay, inside the method where it is declared. Okay, but the scope of the global variable is anywhere, it's everywhere in the entire Java class. Okay, that is the one thing that you have to understand. Okay, so I'll see one here. Okay, let me copy and paste it here. Now here is some interesting thing. Say I have a global variable named name and I am declaring it to India. Okay, and I have some local variable, say string name equal to USA. Now tell me guys, okay, so the local variable and the global variable is same. Okay, now in this case, what you guys think, what will be the output guys? According to you, what will be the output? Rajni is saying USA. Any other answer? Yes guys, the output will be USA. That's because when you have same local and global variables, your preference will be given to, say, when you say this, just a minute, when you say name here, okay, it will first try to check, is there any local variable called name? Yes, there is a local variable, so it will directly print it. If it don't find a local variable, then it searches in the global variable thing. Okay, so this is all about local and global variable. Now you guys might be thinking, say I want to access this global variable. I don't want to, when you say, now if I execute this line, it is printing USA, but I don't want it to print USA. Instead, I want it to print India, this global variables. What are the ways guys? What are the ways? So there are some ways, okay, but I'm not gonna teach you those things unless we cover what is static and what is something. There is something called as static guys, static, and there is something called as non-static. When we understand static and non-static, that time I will be telling you how to access a global variable and how to access a local variable. Okay, that is the thing. Say for example, a local variable how to access, but global variable, if you want to access, how to access, that I'll be telling you when I teach you about static and non-static. Okay, so all other things you should know at this point of time. Okay, so when you have same local and global variable, the preference will be given to local variable. Okay, that's exactly what you need to understand. Okay, now you guys understand this much, you can definitely start understanding objects guys. Okay, if you understand what is local variable and what is global variable, you can start understanding the objects guys. Okay, so just a minute guys, let me just see something here. Okay, yeah guys. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, okay. Now, what are objects, guys? Okay, first of all, if you read some texts online, or if you go through some online tutorials, okay, maybe video tutorials, they will say, what are class? What is a class? What is a class? And the answer will be, most of the time, class is a blueprint or template of an object. This is what they will say. Class is a blueprint or template of an object. Now, why do they say that? That is what we will be understanding when we understand objects in Java. Okay. Now, I will create a class named student. Okay, student. And so far we have seen classes with the main method. Okay. Now you will see classes without main method as well. Okay. Say there are there is a class called student. Okay. Normally what student will have, guys? Okay, student will have string name. A student will have something called as name, and student might also have something called int roll number. And these are very, very important, guys. Objects are very, very important, and this is where your Java starts, actual Java starts, guys. Okay. Now, can any one of you tell me whether these are global variables or the local variables, guys? Rajni is saying these are global variables. And yes, Suganya is also saying G means global variables maybe. Yeah, that's right, Suganya. Okay, because these are not inside any method, so these are definitely the global variables, guys. Okay, no doubt about it. Now, say in real life, what you will gonna see most of the time, you will have some class called, say, I will say class name is student factory. Okay, student factory. Okay, and say it has the main method. Okay, it has the main method. Now, say student factory is something which will create the student object. Okay, which will create student object. This is a student class. Whatever you see, a student class. So how to create an object of a student class? That is the first thing that we're gonna learn. Now, how will you create a string object, guys? I told you, string object you can create. String name equals to new of string. This will create an empty string. Okay, say let me just try to print what will, okay, say no, let me not say, if I, even if I print and if I say name, it will gonna print me nothing because it's an empty string. Okay, but basically what you need to understand is this is how you can create string, but it's an empty string. But you want to give some value to that string, you can say India Now if you say SYSOUT and say name, it will print you India. Okay, that is the thing, guys. It will print you India. So what I'm trying to say is, so you have printed this particular thing. Okay, you have printed name and it is printing you India. So I want you to understand how to create an empty string. This is how you will create an empty string. I said string name equals to new of string. Okay, any doubt here, guys? If I want to create a string, this is how I'll create. I said, is there any doubt here? This is just a syntax. Okay, this is just a syntax. No? Okay. In the same way, if I want to, this is how you will create a string object. If I want to create, and string is a class in Java, right? I mean, if you see this F3, it is a class in Java. See, it's a class in Java. It resides somewhere in java.lang package. Okay, java.lang package, which is inside some jar called rt.jar. See, rt.jar, and rt.jar where is this rt.jar? It is coming, you are getting it from uh, Java libraries. Okay, whatever JDK or JRE installed, from that you are getting rt.jar. In that rt.jar you have something called as java.lang package, java.lang package, and inside that lang package you have this string class, guys. Okay, in the same way, in the exactly the same way, you can also, and how you are creating the object of string some name equals to new of string. Now in the same way you can create object of student class like this: student s is equal to new of student. Okay, new of student. This is how you will create the object of the student class. Okay, now couple of things to know. See, if I print name here, okay, and if I print SYSOUT S, name is printing me empty, there is nothing. But when I print S, it is printing me something. What is this something, guys? The highlighted part, what is that? Any idea what is that highlighted part, what it is printing? No idea? Okay, I said how in the memory. Okay, forget about string for a while. Okay, yeah, it's a memory address. Okay, say MS Paint. Okay, when you say student s equals to new of student, when you say student s equals to new of student, it will create an object of the student class. Okay, object of the student class, and say this address, this object is located at this particular memory location. What is that memory location? This is the memory location at which that object resides, and that object has two elements. One is roll number, another one is name. Okay, one is roll number, another one is name. What is the default value of name? What will the default value of the name? Any guess, guys? And what will be the default value of roll number? Hint is, yeah, so null and zero, correct? So name is, yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, string is null, and this one is zero, because these are the global variable. Global variables are initialized to something, that is name will be initialized to null and roll number will be initialized to zero, guys. Okay, now they will say that yes is pointing to this particular object. How? S will have this memory address, guys. What is that memory address? 15BD. This particular memory address will be inside the S. Okay, that is how they say that. That is how they say that yes is pointing to. Okay, this variable yes is pointing to S is equal to this one. That is how they say S is pointing to this particular object, because S will have the memory address of this particular object. Okay, and this is how things happens in the computer memory or the RAM. So Suganya is asking, new is the keyword, right? Yes, new is a keyword, Suganya. Okay, new is a keyword. We'll get back to that. Any doubt in this concept, understanding the concept? It will create an object, okay, at some memory location. Name will be initialized to null, roll number will be initialized to zero, guys. And this is how, when this line gets executed, student S, okay, this is how it will be seen in the memory. Okay, now, and when you print this S, okay, so Rajni is asking difference between normal variable declaration and object creation. Okay, we'll come back to that, Rajni. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, now before that I want to tell you, okay, what happens when you say string name equals to this one. Okay, when you say string name equals to new of string, the same thing happens, guys. Okay, nothing change. There will be an object at some memory location. Say this time memory location is, say, oh, just a minute, say this is the memory location, say 00, this is the memory location. Okay, and here what you have to understand is name will have memory address 15DB900. That's how you say that this name is pointing to this particular object. This particular object. Name is pointing to this particular object. Now, if at all you think a little bit, and if you see this output here, when you printed name, it did not print me memory address. See, it did not give me any memory address. But when I printed student, it gave me a memory address. What is the reason? Both are objects I'm saying. Then what is the reason, guys? And this particular thing we will be covering, what is the reason, in later chapters. When I say, just a minute, guys. Just a minute, guys. When I say talk you about method overriding and method dispatch and just a minute, string method for an object. Okay, there is a concept called toString method, overriding toString method for objects. When we study that particular topic, you will gonna understand. Just a minute. Why? Just a minute. Cut. How to cut it? Constructor. Oh, not this. Method overloading. I have already. Just a minute, guys. I'm just making this so that we don't miss any of the topic. Okay, for you guys. What is method overloading? Okay, it has been already covered, so I'll delete this. Covered in the sense I have not taught you guys. Okay, it is covered in my list. Okay, that's the okay. So why? So did you understand the question, guys? All of you? Why when I print the string object, it is giving me empty here? Okay, and when I print the S object, it is giving me what is that? The memory address. Okay, that is what we will be seeing. And name was of type string, so null was default, S had no type. Okay, Rajni is saying name was of type string, so null was default. But where it printed null, guys? It did not print null. Okay, say if I say null, it would have printed null. For example, see, it printed null. It did not print me null. It printed me empty string. Name was of type string, so null was default. S has no type. Yes. Now, what you are saying is S doesn't have a type. No. If you say this S doesn't have a type, it's wrong. Okay. Now, name is of type. What you are saying? Name is of type what? Can you guys tell me? If I ask you, name is of type what? Name is of type what? Suganya, Rajni. Rajni is saying name is of type string. What about you, Suganya? Okay, same. In the same way, you have to say yes is of type what? Yes is of type student, guys. S is of type student, and that is what is the truth, guys. Okay, see, when you are see, both are classes, guys. Okay, the string is also class and student is also class. So when you create a string object, you will say it is of type string. In the same way, when you create a student object, you have to say it is of type student. Okay, you cannot say that it has no type, and that particular concept, the variable without types are not there in Java. Yeah, go ahead.
Vishal,
Yeah.
Student is equal to new student.
Mm-hmm.
That is a class element which is above student factory dot Java, student dot Java. That class is object element.
Uh,
In the left hand side, there are two classes: student dot Java, student factory dot Java.
correct.
So the student S is equal to new student is of that class object that you meant, or it's nowhere related to student dot Java.
It is related to student Java. It is of type this student on the left hand side, whatever
Oh,
you are seeing, Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Okay. So that is the thing, that is the main reason, and this is what you see here on the right hand side. Okay, this is this class. That is the reason I said when you create an object of that student class, it will have one object like this. Okay, and S will be pointing to this, and it has two properties, right? What are those properties? Two properties it has: the name and the roll number. So name will be assigned to null and the roll number will be assigned to 0, guys. Okay, that is what you need to understand here, nothing else. Any doubt? And you can always say that name is of type string. Okay, S is of type student, guys. Okay, and don't worry about anything. Okay, this is the plain truth. Okay, says name is of type string and S is of type student. Okay, this is the plain truth, guys. Okay, and it's a different thing. And if you see, if you see inside string class, okay, I'm not sure whether I'll be able to show it to you. Okay, just a minute, guys. Okay, actually, what is string? String is a character array, guys. Okay, character array. Okay, so that is the thing, guys. Okay, it's a character array. Okay, string is not a data type as such. It's a derived data type. Okay, it is made up of this primitive data type. And what primitive data type it is made up of? It is character primitive data type. It is made up of. What is the string I'm trying to say is, say A, B, C. Okay, so A is a character, B is a character, and C is a character. And in Java, there is a primitive data type called char. Okay, so what they say string as, string is a array of these characters, and we have not learned arrays yet. We will be learning arrays. Okay, but why I'm telling you all these things is you can draw a similarity between string and any object for that matter. Okay, string is also made up of some primitive data type, and here you can say char. Okay, say instead of name, say instead of string, it is say char. Now it is almost, you can say, string also made up of characters, and this student also made up of characters. Okay, so that is how you guys need to think. It is not that string is a data type and student is not a data type. No, all this, when we talked about derived data type, I said that there are how many derived data type, guys? Infinite number of derived data types, because string is one, and you create a student, this is also a data type. You create tomorrow a class named Rajini, and you have some properties to it, it is also a data type. Okay, so you can infinite number of data types you can create. Okay, and why they call it as derived? These data types are basically made up of these primitive data types. Okay, they are derived from these primitive data type like int, float, char, long, double, boolean, and there are 2 3 more maybe. Okay, these are all primitive data type. These are all primitive data type. Okay, this is what we have discussed. And whatever data type that you see, okay, whatever derived data types you see, it is made up of primitive data types, guys. Okay, it is made up of primitive data type. For example, in case of your string, it is made up of character array, guys, array of characters. So it is made up of your primitive data type. That's the reason they call it as these derived data types are the one which are derived, which are made by using or created by using this primitive data type. Okay, any doubt, guys? Primitive data type and the derived data type. And in no way you should say name is of type string and student doesn't have any type. No, student has a type of student. Yeah, sorry, name is of type string, you are saying, so yes is of type student. That's as plain as it is. Okay, so that is the thing. Any doubt, guys? What is primitive data type, what is derived data type, and what is the type of this s, what is the type of this name? But only thing what I did not told you here is when I print this particular string thing, it prints me null. Okay, and but here it is printing me not null, here it is empty string, but here it is printing me the memory address. That will be seeing when I talk about toString method, which will come in method overriding somewhere down. Okay, so don't worry. Now I said, and there is no doubt at this point of time, right? Okay, fine, guys. Now I said, when you say, now let me just remove this string for a while, or else let me just keep it for you guys to just see it. Just a minute. com dot mark dot mark dot objects one. Okay, in class 5. Okay, fine. Objects 1. I'll create sorry, one more package. Okay, com dot mark dot objects example 2. Okay, now you know how to create the objects, guys. Okay, same two examples I'm gonna take here. Same two examples. Okay, now what I'm trying to say here is, let's not worry about string data type anymore. Okay, let's only concentrate on objects what we have created. Okay, so I said this is how you will create the object, and I said when you do something like this, you will have s pointing to this particular object. Okay, and name equals to null, roll number equals to 0. Now say I want to change name from 0 to say something. I want to change this name from null to say India. Okay, India, and this from 0, roll number from 0 to say 200. How will I do it? How will I initiate or change the values of object? How will I access the object properties? Okay, so this is one property. They also called their global variables are properties of that particular object or properties of that particular class. Name and roll number are the properties of the student class or the S object. Okay, how will I access it? So I want to print it, so probably how will I do it? SYSOUT, I can always say S dot roll number will print me the roll number. S dot name will give me the name, guys. If I run this, run as Java application, see this line number 7 is giving me this, and when I print the roll number, this is how you will access the roll number variable of the student object, and this is how you will access the name variable of the student object. Now say I want to change it from null to say India. Okay, this name, how will I do it? Can you guys think and tell me just by looking at these two lines? How will I change it, guys? Think and tell me. What should I write? This is how you will access the.
Vishal, can you repeat the question?
Yes. The question is this. I said when you create the object, the object gets created and some memory address object gets created, and the name will be initialized to null and the roll number will be initialized to 0 when you create the object. And that is the reason when we type these things, okay, when we type these things, the roll number is giving me 0 and name is giving me 0. Sorry, name is giving me null. But say on line number 10, I want to change the value of this roll number, roll number from 0 to 100. I want to change it to 100. How will I do it, guys? That's the question. It is by default when you create an object, it will be initialized to 0. But after creating the object, after creating the object, initially it will be 0, no doubt. After creating the object, I want to make it to 200 or 100. How will I do it? Yes. So Rajni is saying, Rajni, let me know if this was your exact answer. Okay. Say Rajni is saying S dot roll number equals to 200. Correct? Was this your thing? And say S dot name in the same way equal to INDIA. Okay, that is it, guys. Now if I print the same thing again, roll number will be, first it will print this. Okay, that is what you can see here, this line. Then this line will give me 0. Then this line will give me null. Then S dot roll number has been changed to 200, so it's giving me 200, and this line will again give you India. Okay, that is all about it, guys. Any doubt? No doubt. Okay, so let me just show you in a different window called as debugging, guys. So debugging, how will I show it? For example, I want to put a breakpoint at line number say line number 6. Okay, I just need to double click on this line, or else okay, the breakpoint will be put, and I will do a right click and debug as Java application, guys. It will say, do you want me to go to debug perspective? I'll say yes. Okay, now if you see, so it has not executed this particular line, and if you see the variables, you can only see one variable, and that is args, and it is empty. Okay, don't worry about the args, but it doesn't show you any variable called s. Now let me just execute this line. To execute this line, I can press F6 on my keyboard, or else I will click on this arrow at the top, this arrow, this particular arrow, okay, this particular symbol, not exactly arrow. Okay, so for now let me just click on that once and have a look. When I'm clicking on that, have a look here guys, okay, here in the variable, okay, variable section. Okay, let me go ahead and click on it. Just a minute, I'm clicking on it. All right, I clicked. See, there is a object created. Its memory address is this, okay, and it has two properties guys. If you see it properly, it has got two properties. One is name, which is initialized to null. Another one is roll number, that is also initialized to 0. And if I want to print this, it will just print memory address, roll number, name, that is null. Now here is something interesting guys. Say S name is null, roll number equals to 0, and its memory address is this. Now if I execute this line number 10, have a look at the roll number here. It will gonna change here. Okay, let's see guys. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click execute this line number 10 now. I'm clicking on this F6. See, and in the variable down at the bottom, just see it will change from 0 to 100. Sorry, 0 to 200. See, it got changed from 0 to 200, but name is still null. Now if I, in the same way, if I go ahead and execute the line number 11, it will change from, this one will change from null to India. Let's see guys quickly. If I execute it, see, it got changed to India. And now if you print 200 plus India, that is all about it guys. Any doubts how the object behaves? So initially the object will look like this, and when you execute line number 10, object will look like this. Sorry, when you execute line number 10, object will look like roll number equals to, sorry, roll number equals to 200. This is how it will look like when you execute line number 10 guys. Okay, line number 10. And similarly, when you execute line number 11, your thing will look like this, name equals to India. This is what it is guys. Okay, and this is how you can change the state of an object. This is how you can change the state of an object. Any doubts here guys? Any doubts? No? If there is no doubt, that's it for today guys. Okay, try to practice it, try to see different things. Okay, and see, this is what you need to understand. Objects you should be able to imagine. Okay, and never ever say that S is not of any type. S is always of type student. Okay, that is very, very important. Okay, that is the fundamental for your objects. Okay, Rajni, why two classes were created? Is it for demo? Okay, now Rajni is saying, why, Rajni, is this your question? Why the student class and why the student factory class created? Okay, this is your question. Okay, okay. Yes, we can accommodate in the same class, but in real life, whenever you see, you will not create the object of the student class in the same class. Okay, but if you want, you can just put it like this. This main method can be definitely be put here. Okay, and you can just ignore this student factory class altogether. You can, since it has the main method now, you can execute this particular class, student class itself. But when you go in the industry, you will not see you creating object of a particular class in the same class. You'll always see 98% of the time they will create the object of some class somewhere else. For example, what we are doing, we are creating the object of string class in our code, but where is that string class? String class is somewhere in that particular jar, okay, somewhere in this rt jar. And in that rt jar there is something called as a package called java.lang. It's java.lang, and inside that we have the string class, and we are creating our uh, object in this here string yes1 equals to new of string. So that is what normally happens, guys, in the real time code. You will not be creating the object of student class in the same class, okay? And I want you to understand object like a template, okay? I don't want to mix this particular code, that is logic, okay, whatever logic or whatever code you are writing. You have to imagine objects as a class, as a template for object. When you use this new keyword, objects get created, but everything will be like a this is all will be empty, okay. This is all will be this one will be null, and this one will be 200. So you can change it to whatever you want, guys, okay. So you have to imagine objects like this, okay. And pure objects will not have these main methods or something like this, okay. Even if you have the main method, you can still call it as an object, but still you will not have it most of the time, okay. It was for the demonstration purpose, okay. But more than demonstration purpose, you can say you will not find creating object of a particular class in the same class in real-time code. You will always see like this, okay. That is the only thing, guys. Any other doubt, guys? Feel free, guys. No? All right, guys, if there is no doubt, okay, we are done for today, and we will meet tomorrow. We will see some more properties of objects, and once I have the confident that you have understood the objects properly, I will be teaching you what is static and what is non-static, guys, okay. That is all about it. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining the class. Bye bye. Yeah, bye, guys.